redundancy. If one goes down in battle, we can still operate.
Makes this more difficult, though.
This ship can maintain warp with half the cores offline. We'll need to disable 3 of them.
Where are the engine schematics? Power flow routing charts.
We're soldiers, not engineers. I thought you would know what to do.
You're in good hands. We can do this.
I trust that you can.
You at least know where we should start?
This way.
What are we dealing with? Really hot. Makes sense, since they've been producing at max output since we left Hotari space.
No ship can run for very long like that. Not before a catastrophic failure hits.
It's right on the edge. We just need to figure out a way to give it a push.
Bet that console down there could tell us a few things. Whatever we do, we need to make sure the Takan can't undo it.
So we need a way to permanently disable the reactors that won't destroy the ship and kill us all in the process.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Warp core ejection. So the question is, how do we make it happen? The reactor coolant system is operating at emergency containment levels.
It's just barely keeping the temperature in check.
Maybe we can use that. If it gets this high, their system considers a reactor breach imminent. Like we saw on the bridge, all 4 warp cores are operating at full capacity. The safety protocols don't look much different from the Resolute. Breach protection. Reduce output, command override. Cease matter, antimatter flow, command override. Emergency warp core ejection. Computer control.
Even command functions can't override one of the most crucial safety measures.
So the protocol's still active. That's good. Looks like if sensors show a core is about to rupture, the computer will eject it automatically rather than risk a breach.
So we need to increase the warp core's temperatures.
If we destroy the coolant regulators, there won't be anything to keep these reactors from going over.
And it will trigger the ejection. Let's peel these suckers open. I'll take that one.
I'll take the one next to it.
The second you two start dumping cores, the Takan will know we're here.
We'll be vulnerable. Stuck in one place while you work.
We will have to make a stand.
Do whatever you have to do to make sure we have the time to finish.
Anything?
Anything.
We'll barricade the door. Work quickly.
We might not have our tools, but our phasers can do this in a pinch. We better get this right. If we foul it up and this whole thing goes boom... We don't know how much damage that Cartabula will do.
Listen, the best way to make sure something goes wrong is to stress. Keep your mind on the job. We'll be okay.
Yeah, we will. It's not a Starfleet warp core, but the coolant regulator has to be in here somewhere.
There you are. Time to heat things up.
Warning. Warning. Warp core output at critical level. Ejecting core.
Okay, now they're definitely gonna know we're down here.
Warp core output at critical level. Ejecting core.
Just one more to go.
They're here!
They're cutting through the door. We don't have much time.
Okay, same as before. We just gotta...
Go! Finish!
Hey!
I'll cover you.
What? No!
Get the warp core done. We're all dead.
Can you climb?
I'll see you on the parade grounds of Cirella, my friend. I'm right here. Not you too.
Calm yourself, child. It will all be better soon. Rejoin the flame.
To reclaim what was lost.
You don't need to watch this.
I do. I want to remember every moment when I make them pay. But this isn't the end. I will avenge Itasca. Swear to me, you will join me in this.
How about we try to save her?
That's a dream.
I swear, we will make them pay for it.
There's so much I want to ask you.
There's so little I can tell you. I'm a portal, not a scientist, but I'll certainly do my best. I can only assume this is one of your older starships. One would think, given the importance of your mission, they might send a ship of a more recent vintage. But, apparently not.
The Resolute is primarily a research vessel, if that's what you mean. Not a warship.
Although she has been known to hold her own in a fight.
Against what?
Something wrong?
Not at all. The galaxy has grown more diverse since the days of the Takon Empire.
Because you conquered everyone who didn't look like you.
To the contrary. Most lesser civilizations willingly joined the Empire to enjoy the benefits of an advanced way of life. But that expansion came with its own set of problems, so I admire your ability to diversify without creating conflict. That was always our challenge, and perhaps, ultimately, our downfall.
I think that's the first time you've said something nice about the Federation.
And it may just be the last. If this is the best you have, then so be it. To locate this scion, Galvan, I'll need full access to your ship's systems.
Full access?
Huh. You must be out of your mind.
No, I'm right here, completely in my mind. Given this is merely a research ship, I won't be able to find him without it. Perhaps I should have made that clear up front. I'll need to make certain modifications.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Excellent.
Solano's gonna flip when he hears this.
I'll see you on the bridge. Captain Solano, I'd like to introduce you to Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire.
Pleasure to meet you, Captain.
Likewise. I can't say I've ever met a portal before. There is no modern equivalent. Not within the Federation, at least.
He's been kind enough to agree to help us find Galvin.
I am at your service. To whatever extent I can be of help.
If nothing else, I'm sure you're happy for a change of scenery. You spent 600,000 years at your post. That certainly takes an uncommon level of dedication.
We all have our duty.
Of course. But I'm curious. You were stationed there in preparation for what, exactly?
Any and all threats to the Empire.
An empire that no longer exists. Which suggests you weren't very successful.
You said you needed my help. I didn't come here to be insulted. Perhaps that was a mistake. I'd be happy to return to Delphi Ardu at any time.
Of course, the fall of the Empire had nothing to do with you. We know that.
Do you? Because it seems your captain has a different opinion.
I'm merely curious where your allegiances might lie. Clearly it's with the Takan.
Yes, Captain. You have found me out and exposed my true loyalties to the Takan, not to the Scions of the Flame, who do nothing more than tarnish us in name and reputation and don't deserve to be called Takan. That's why I'm here. And if you'd be so kind as to give me access to your ship's systems, we can get on with it. And you can stop wasting my time.
Access to our systems? That's completely out of the question. Tell me that's not what you promised. We're vulnerable enough as it is. And now we're supposed to give him access to everything?
Captain, I know it's a risk. But right now it's our best shot at finding Galvin and that ship.
Here she was, naive enough to believe it wouldn't be a problem. Little did she realize the levels of ignorance and incompetence she was up against.
If you're not enjoying your visit to our ship, we'd be more than happy to let you wither away back on your pathetic little rock.
Captain?
You clearly do not appreciate the magnitude of the threat the Scions pose. So myopic is your focus on your own ego. I will not be leaving until they have been found.
Commander Rydek, a word.
And to think, I waited 600,000 years for this.
You realize this puts me in an incredibly difficult position. I was against seeking him out from the start, but now, to give him access to our systems? It's insane! And you somehow expect me to believe his allegiance is with us? You heard what he said in there. There's no way we can trust him.
I might otherwise agree, but you're missing the most important point. He's a Takan, and he may be loyal to the Takan, but not to the Scions of the Flame. He's against everything they believe in. You heard what he said.
There's too much at stake to be wrong on this.
We sought him out for a reason. To help him find our missing crew, Galvin, and those Elydian ships. This is the plan we agreed to with Ambassador Spock.
Which I never liked. But here we are. You know what this mission means to us. Not just for the Federation, but for me personally. I can't afford another screw-up. Losing the shield algorithms was bad enough. This could be the end of my career.
We'll take every precaution to make sure we get what we need. I'll keep a close eye on him myself.
I appreciate that. I'm going to trust your instincts on this one. I just hope you're right. For both of our sakes. Let me know if you find anything.
We're good. You may begin.
I will, of course, have to make a few modifications.
What kind of modifications?
To find Taconian technology requires Taconian technology. If this Scion Gallivan modified his ships, then I must do likewise to yours. The galaxy is nearly infinite in size and complexity. This may take a moment.
How long
I
will it take?
found something. There you are.
What is it? Galvin?
Someone is using Taconian technology. I can't get the precise bearings, but it's located in the Palisades cluster.
I'll let the captain know. Rydick to Solano. I think Portal may have located Galvin.
I'll be right there.
I'm getting all kinds of interference. Almost impossible to lock on the energy signature.
Where's he hiding?
In the Palisades cluster.
Interesting. Can you lock in on the location?
Not until you get me closer.
Lieutenant Handar, set a course for the Palisades cluster.
Aye, Captain.
Well, I suppose I owe you an apology. You were right after all. That's what I get for questioning the advice of my first officer. You always have my back.
I'm just glad it worked, and we were able to track him down.
Which wouldn't have been possible without your determination. So thank you for that. Nice work. Let me know if you find anything more.
Will do. What's wrong?
I didn't want to say anything until I was certain. But the reason for the interference is simple. There's a Taconian device on this ship being used to block the signal. Whoever planted it was exceptionally clever. They knew how and where to hide it. But they have underestimated my abilities.
Engineering.
Take care of the Taconian device, and I can find Galvan for you. It's designed to interfere with all transmissions, or at least delay and confuse the effort to find Galvan's ship.
Hold on. My understanding is that Takan technology requires a Takan to operate. Is there another Takan on this ship?
The Scions could have someone on the ship, doing everything they can to stop us from finding Galvan.
Don't worry, I'll get this fixed. We're going to find that ship. Engineers would have found this device already if it wasn't well hidden. Better to rely on my tricorder. There's a lot of noise in here. I should scan the device putting out the most radiation to filter it out. That's better. Most other radiation sources in here are well contained. There's definitely tetrametric radiation nearby. But even with the gain boosted, it's getting drowned out by other sources of radiation in here. A little bit of harmless radiation leakage here, but enough to mask the tetrametric pulses. Easy enough to cancel out. There's still something drowning out the tetrametric radiation. I need to find it so I could filter it out as well. Jeffrey's tubes thump harmonics from all over the ship. I'll filter that out. There we go. I'm getting a clear tetrametric signal now. Found it.
Excuse me. Do you belong here? Commander Rydek. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you.
Paul. Calloway, right?
Yes. You know, it means a lot that you remembered. What, are you doing back here? I don't mean to pry, but first officers don't usually go digging around engineering compartments.
Just a routine systems check. We've been having problems with our comms lately.
Oh, that's news to me. I haven't heard anything about it.
Probably because the comm system isn't working. Have you seen anyone else in here recently that might seem out of the ordinary? Maybe someone who doesn't work in engineering.
Not that I can think of, but I can ask around. I'm here almost all the time, but maybe someone else noticed something?
That would be great. Just be discreet about it. I don't want anyone to be alarmed.
Discretion is my specialty. Well, I'll leave you alone already. Oh, come to think of it, that Hotari woman was down here earlier with Dr. Duvall finishing the last of the bioscans.
Tylus?
That would be out of the ordinary, right?
Thank you. Maybe Tylus saw something. Tylus, can I speak to you for a moment?
Of course. Is something wrong?
There's something happening. I may need your help. This is important.
How can I help?
When you were in engineering with Dr. Duvall, did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Or anyone?
Not particularly. Why?
I found this, hidden in a compartment down there.
That's Taconian technology. Does that mean there's a scion on board? But Dr. Duvall bioscanned everyone. Every deck, every crew member. I've seen the logs. She couldn't have been more thorough.
Someone evaded detection and planted that device.
Which would mean they've been with us this whole time. Watching, listening.
All the more reason why we have to find them.
It could be anyone.
That includes both of us.
You want me to get scanned? Better to know for sure, right? I'll admit, I was around the Scions as much as anybody.
I would feel more comfortable if you did.
I understand.
Clear.
Now it's your turn.
Sure.
Clear.
Don't sound so surprised.
You spend plenty of time with the Scions as well. You never know.
Let's get to it. The search starts in engineering. Whoever planted the device most likely did it within the last few hours. So I'll start by running a scan, tracking everyone who came through engineering over the last day, in reverse order.
This could take forever to sort through the number of people that were in engineering.
I'll filter out the duplicates.
That helps.
Filtering for outliers. People who don't work in engineering.
Now this is manageable.
cross-referencing this list with everyone who's traveled to Hotari. Let's see who's left. No, this can't be right.
What?
Of the people that went to Hotari and visited engineering, it could only have been Captain Solano.
According to this, he was here while you went down to Delphi RB4. Which would have been the perfect opportunity. And no one would question him. He's the captain.
He fits the profile for the kind of people the Takan want to bioform. People with authority that can lead to them gaining more control.
Like Galvin? The Queen?
The captain of a Federation starship. What happened when Dr. Duval bioscanned Captain Solano?
That's just it. She never did.
How is that possible?
Something more urgent would always come up. There was nothing she could do. But performing a bioscan is the only way to be absolutely sure.
That's not going to be easy. First thing I need to do is get this device to Portal.
Be careful. And good luck.
I'll need it. I found the device.
Interference is gone. I have located Galvin's ship more precisely. He's in the Usonia system.
So then it worked.
This whole region was one of the most sacred for the ancient Takan. What many consider the birthplace of our civilization. See these comets and planetoids in the outer orbits? Based on their current trajectory, that's Galvin's destination. And legend tells us it's the location of what was once our largest arsenal. Not that we needed it in the late stages of the Empire, but it was there as a precaution nonetheless.
Can you stop him? Cripple their ship somehow?
I'm afraid they are too far away for my powers to reach them. We need to be much closer, and even then, they may have defenses against what I am able to do. If Galvin and the other Scions secure the arsenal, they will become extremely dangerous. My people had such power at the height of the Empire. The Takan were as gods, keeping absolute control over countless worlds. I must speak with them directly. However, the presence of this device is worrying. It's highly likely it was placed here by a Scion, hidden among your crew, and it is unlikely this interference device was the Scion saboteur's only trap. If we reach Galvin and the saboteur cripples your ship, we will be at their mercy. Even my powers will not be able to protect us. Do you know who it is? They may well do more damage if left alone. Time is not on your side.
I'm fairly convinced they bioformed Captain Solano.
I knew there was a reason I didn't like him. That explains it. Bioforming was so rare in the time of the Empire that I am not able to detect if it has taken place. Proof of your claim is something you will have to produce yourself.
Then we have to bioscan him. I'll talk to Dr. Duval.
That's quite the claim. You told me you were worried about him, but I never imagined this was what was wrong.
I wouldn't be asking you if there was any other possibility.
And it would explain why Solano has been too busy for a bioscan lately.
As the ship's doctor, you have the authority to declare him unfit to serve.
If you're right, this is the worst-case scenario. Challenging your own captain is a tall order. Are you sure you're prepared for this? If you fail, that's it. The end of your career. Maybe your life.
I don't know if I would be on my own. But with your support, I'm sure we can do it.
That smooth talking may come in handy. I'm in. But we can't pull this off with just the two of us. I technically have the authority to make Solano undergo a scan, but in reality, he can and will refuse to do it. We need at least another member of the senior staff to support your claim, or this could all blow up in our faces. long and hard about who you can trust.
Down to one reactor. Thought we'd be stopped dead. At least stuck at impulse power.
The Takan enhancements must be able to brute force limited bursts of warp output.
Yeah, but they won't get to wherever they were headed at this rate. They're just limping along now.
So where does that put us?
Maybe I can answer that. I got the ship's heading.
They've changed course. Drastically.
Looks like they're headed here. Usonia's system. They might stop there.
Can we use the Zeldi's comms to signal your fleet?
Comm systems are locked.
Grab hold!
Oh!
The inertial dampeners can barely keep up. If they keep forcing this ship to make these short warp jumps, they're going to tear it apart.
Zeldi is still made by Lydian hands, despite orders to calm corruption. We'll hold.
We just gotta stay safe until Starfleet can find us.
Your people. Is there somewhere you go when you die?
Life after death? No. On my homeworld, some people think they can cheat death in a way by joining with the Trill symbiont. But that's not a life to me.
What about you? Is there another plane of existence for you? With every passing battle.
I believe there's an afterlife.
You do?
Yeah.
Then you should understand this. My people have a special journey. When Lydians die, we rejoin our comrades, family, and ancestors.
On the parade grounds of Cirella?
That is just one part of it, but yes. Death is not the end for us. So, even if some part of Itasca remains, by letting the Takan use her body, at best we are delaying the inevitable next step for her. At worst, we are leaving her as a prisoner in her own mind. You want to save the transformed. So do I.
Now that I've seen it happen, does it make me a hypocrite to say he has a point? What if we can't get them back? We can't leave them like that, right?
I think Itasca would want to be released. To think of what she could be going through right now.
What you're talking about is mercy. And that's an honorable goal.
That seems easier to live with than being driven by revenge. I had a sister, a twin. It's very rare among the Trill.
You never told me that.
She was one of the youngest hosts to ever join with the symbiont. A sentient creature that lives in our body. It's considered a great honor. The symbiont can bring centuries of knowledge and wisdom to the host. But sometimes, the symbiont personality suppresses the host entirely. My sister was the closest person in the world to me. I knew she would be different after joining. But she drew more and more distant. The room we shared growing up was foreign to the both of us. And eventually she, or whoever she'd become, cut me out entirely. So I left for Starfleet and swore I'd never go back. I couldn't stand the thought of seeing her. Someone who looked like my sister. Sounded like her.
So, losing Miranda like this, it opened an old wound.
Never really closed up in the first place.
You remind me of Itasca.
I do?
Bonds are not made by what runs through your veins, but the blood you spilled together. Itasca was my family in that way. I want you to know there is nothing I won't sacrifice to win this fight. But if we're lucky enough to survive, I'd be honored if you'd count me as one of your tribe. As Itasca was.
Even a couple of engineers like us?
You are many things.
I'll take you up on that.
Same here.
They not cease this madness.
What is this place?
Is that the Veskar?
Another one of yours?
Not anymore. They've corrupted it, just like the Zeldi.
Now there are 2 ships. Did this just get better, or worse?
It certainly doesn't bode well for the crew of the Veskar. So many lives stolen.
It's worse. This is definitely worse.
Thanks. That really helps.
This doesn't look like the Aphelion. What are they doing here?
You don't think they're just meeting their buddies?
Maybe, but then why are their buddies here?
Prepare for transfer.
The storm! It's back! What happened?
Hold on. Scanning. Astrometric radiation is dropping. The Zeldi's dropped to minimal power levels.
It's running off just the one warp core now.
That means...
They've sent the Cartabula to that other ship.
Something wrong, Captain?
No, nothing's wrong. In fact, I was just going to call for you. I'm needed down in engineering. The bridge is yours.
Commander Irmont, a word, please.
Of course, Commander. How can I help?
The captain may have been compromised. I have reason to believe he's been bioformed, and is now actively working against us.
Based on what?
Someone is sabotaging the mission. They planted a Draconian device in engineering. Captain Solano was in engineering while we were on Delphi Ardu 4, and he purposely evaded Dr. Duval's bioscan.
In your short time as first officer, you've always followed the captain's orders and protected his interests, even if you did not personally agree. I can't imagine you'd go against your own captain lightly. Thus, I'm inclined to believe you. As stunning as your claim is. Why trust me with this? There were others you could have confided in. I may not have been the best choice.
In our every interaction, you've been level-headed and kind. Something this sensitive? There was no one else I could turn to.
I would be flattered, were the situation not so dire. When we first met on the starbase, I told you about the accident that took so many of our crew. You said you were sorry for my loss. The captain being bioformed. That's our loss now.
We will survive this. I have Dr. Duval's support for relieving him of command. Once we get a bioscan of Captain Solano, we'll have the proof to make that happen.
He'll never agree to it.
He'll have to, if we confront him publicly. On the bridge. I need you to back me when he tries to refuse it.
You realize this will make you captain, don't you? Are you prepared for that? Especially under these circumstances. In this way.
I hoped I would be captain someday, but I didn't want it to happen like this.
Sometimes greatness is thrust upon you, as they say. You have my support. When do we act?
Now. Dr. Duval is already on the bridge. She'll ask Solano to undergo a bioscan. Then we confront him when he refuses.
Into battle we go.
It's now or never.
Captain Solano.
Commander Rydek, we need to talk about... Doctor? What brings you to the bridge?
Just a bit of housekeeping. You owe me a bioscan, Captain.
I don't have time for that right now.
It will only take a moment. I can't put this off any longer.
You can, and you will. All you'll find is that I'm quite reasonably under stress given the circumstances, and you aren't making it better. I'll find you in sickbay when I'm good and ready. Or, if you're gonna stand in the way of the mission, I can find you in the brig instead.
I hope you're not hiding something, Captain. If you aren't, there's no reason to refuse.
I don't like your implication.
Commander Rydek is right, Captain. The safety of the ship is of paramount importance.
What is this?
We need you to comply with the scan, Captain.
That's enough. Drop this. All of you. I'm giving you a direct order, Commander Rydek. Stand down and go back to your post. Now. Do not make me tell you again. I've been a starship captain since before you were in the Academy.
I'd follow that order, if you were actually Captain Solano.
Well then, there's only one thing left to do. Security to the bridge. Arrest Commander Rydek. Take her to the brig.
On what charge?
Conspiring with the enemy and mutiny.
Wait. With all due respect, Captain, Commander Rydek deserves the chance to defend herself.
You have no say in this, Commander Ermont. Sit down.
I will not.
This is not Captain Solano. He's been bioformed. He's a scion.
You're out of your mind.
She can prove it.
He sabotaged our efforts to track Galvin with this. He planted it in engineering while we were down on Delphi Ardu 4.
Lies! Perpetrated by the only Takan in our midst, Portal 6-3. He's actively trying to divide us from within.
Captain Solano has refused to be bioscanned because he knows it will reveal he's a scion.
Take her to the brig, or I'll do it myself. Oh!
Wait! Stand down! That's an order!
This is outrageous. What is happening? Someone needs to make sense of this right now. We're going to run out of places to stash prisoners.
I can prove I'm right if you just give me a chance. If I'm wrong, then I will face the consequences.
I can't believe this is happening.
I'm going to settle this once and for all.
Commander Rydek was right. Captain Solano has been compromised. He's been bioformed into a Takan.
As the Chief Medical Officer of the USS Resolute, I am relieving Captain Zachary Solano of command.
Take him to the brig.
That could have been so much worse. I hope you're all right.
I'm fine. Are you okay?
It hardly seems real. All I can think right now is that I will miss the captain. I've known him for so long. To lose him like this, it's...
I will miss him too. He was a good man.
one of the best.
Set course for the Usonia system. Maximum warp. It's time to face Galvin.
Yes, Commander. Sorry. Captain. On your command.
Engage.